All right, so now we can move into practice. So we'll begin by sitting. So again, we'll be sitting for a few minutes. So make sure you can, stay as you are comfortable. So Carla, you can sit on the couch behind you if that's more comfortable, or sit up on cushions, but just sit so that you feel safe and comfortable. And I will attempt screen sharing again. It was a little wonky last week, so there we go. So that should be, there we go. Yes, it worked. Okay, so I'm going to move the thing up so I can look straight at it here. So this is the short version, and I sort of broke it into pieces that we can use while chanting, and also sort of broke it up by the meaning as well. So last week we did this first part, which is really just sort of proclaiming yourself to the universe. The second part is sort of speaking the name of Gayatri, what it represents, the light that illuminates the universe and the embodiment of knowledge. The second part asks this remover of ignorance to illuminate our heart and mind. And the fourth part is just the embodiment of that. May we embody this brilliance, this generosity, and ending with the call to peace, as most Vedic chants do. So as we begin, before we sort of tune into that, we first tune into ourselves. So you can bring the attention inward. Notice what it feels like to stop and just notice your body. Notice the breath moving in and out. And let the energy settle. So just feel it. Like with my energy, it was a little bit high because I was doing some family stuff just before I turned on the call, things breaking and da 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 da. So as we take this moment of quiet, it's just this way to transition. And then when you feel settled in your energy, just begin to breathe a little deeper, consciously expanding the breath. And since we're going to be doing chanting with conscious movement, as you let the breath expand, give a little bit more attention, a little bit more time for the exhale. So letting the inhale come, and with each breath, let the exhale become a little more slow. As you're breathing, notice your energy, what we call in German the Kreislauf, the experience of your prana body. So here in Germany, anybody's watching the recording from elsewhere, it's warm and it's humid, a lot of low pressure right now. So it kind of plays with the energy of the body a little bit. So we're going to go through this mantra bit by bit. And Carla mentioned last week she likes it because she can chant with the mute button on and she doesn't feel self-conscious. Leo's there to chant with her. So what we'll do is I will recite the one part and then you guys recite it twice. So I can watch you, I can watch your mouth moving here. When we're in person, we can, test your refinement of this, but since we're doing it online, we'll just do it this way. So take a breath and just listen to the sound of the first part, the part we did last week over and over. Om Bhur Bhuva Suvaha. So we'll do 2 times. Om Bhur Bhuva Suvaha. Om Bhur Suvaha. The next part, listen to this. You can watch as you're listening. Tatsavitu vareniyam. Give that a try. Tatsavitu vareniyam. Again, tatsavitu vareniyam. The third part, just listen. Bhargo devasya dhimahi. Try that 2 times. Bhargo devasya dhimahi. Bhargo devasya dhimahi. The last part, just listen. Dhiyo yona prachodayat. 2 times. Dhiyo yona prachodayat. Dhiyo yona prachodayat. So there's some details with pronunciation and sounds going up, sounds going down, things like that. But for purposes of this, do your best just to recite the sounds, and we can refine it as we continue. So what I'd like to do is practice 1 exhale each of these pieces. So it makes the exhale a little bit longer. So I'm going to take away the cheat sheet. You can keep your cheat sheet there, and Carla's going to wing it, and she's going to do great. And you can look at it a little bit later. So you can listen to this recording a little bit later too, if you like. So I'm going to put it here for myself, so I get a cheat sheet too. So now we're going to take it and we're going to do a little bit of movement. So let's come to standing. Let me turn on my clock here and let me switch my camera over here so that we can get a little bit more of the room. Let's do this. Okay. I'm going to turn on my phone here so I can, or my clock here so I can see the time as we're going. There we go. So first, before we move, let's just do a check on the body, make sure everything feels good. We're going to do simple movements standing, but first just sort of notice how you feel. Feel the 3 points under the feet. So we got some feedback last week. We did in the in-person class, we did a sort of a workshopping. We answered questions and talked about things. And Uta mentioned that this 3 points under each foot has been really helpful for sort of finding an alignment through our whole body. So honoring Uta's hard work and presence over the years, just feel your feet. Notice the stability of the feet and how it's a foundation for your lower legs, your knees, your hips. Feeling yourself standing strong and tall. Take a few breaths and let's begin to move the arms. So I'm going to take the arms up and down, but if you have another variation that feels better this evening, then go ahead and do it. Inhaling up, exhaling down. I'm going to turn my head to the side as I exhale the arms down. Head center coming up, and this is just sort of checking in on the neck, the shoulders, seeing how they're working together. Reaching up, just noticing how much stiffness I might have in the core of my body. So each time lift, it's like I'm reaching up and lifting out of my pelvis. A couple times just to feel the front back side of the body. You take the arms up, maybe stretching back a little bit and then down. So feeling the forward flexion and extension of the spine, the movement of the shoulders. And just for good measure, I'm going to give myself a hug and open, open, open the front of the chest and open the back of the chest with exhale. So this piece that's become like one of the many ways we start practice, but this is sort of a standard for me. It's sort of checking in and helping feel the alignment in my shoulders, arms, neck, upper back before I start to begin. And then just a few times touching the floor in whatever way feels most comfortable. And eventually come back to standing when you're ready. Move on from here. So first position, so we're going to take the sound of the mantra, the intention of the mantra, and we're going to put it into movement. So this is what's called Nyasa. It's, you know, it's like the Catholics do this kind of thing, some Nyasa with a meaning. So this is the meaning. So we're going to do the first part of the Gayatri, which is Om Bhur Bhuva Suvaha. We did last week many times. And we're going to do this movement that we've done many times. So simple movement, simple chanting, but we're going to move into the position on exhale. As we exhale, we're going to chant. So we'll do 2 times low, 2 times shoulder height, 2 times high. And we can do together just this first part since we practiced it a lot last week. So we'll take a breath in, twisting behind. Om Bhur Bhuva Suvaha. Inhale, center. Other side. Om Bhur Bhuva Suvaha. Now shoulder height. Om Bhur Bhuva Suvaha. Om Bhur Bhuva Suvaha. Above the shoulder. Om Bhur Bhuva Suvaha. Om Bhur Bhuva Suvaha. Back to shoulder height. Om Bhur Bhuva Suvaha. Om Bhur Bhuva Suvaha. Om Bhur Bhuva Suvaha. Om Bhur Bhuva Suvaha. Pause a moment. Om Bhur Bhuva Suvaha. So at the beginning, we stand in our own shoes. We lay down on the altar everything we are, past, present, future. It's like clearing yourself out for something new. And then we call in what's important to us. That's the second part. So we'll do the second part a little more precisely so you can sort of learn the second part. Mr. Spock's with us today, watching me chant. So the movement is like this. We'll do it a few times without the chanting. So we'll inhale, lift the heels, lift the hands. Exhale, keep the heels lifted, drop the arms halfway. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. Okay. Just do that 2 more times, just so you can remember the rhythm. All the way up. Arms halfway, maybe drop the heels halfway if that's possible. Inhale all the way up. Exhale all the way down. So 1 more time. Halfway up. All the way down. Okay, pause a moment. Let my friend go. There we go. And now we're gonna try the second part. So I'll remind you again before we move 2 times. I'll say it once, you say it twice, or the best interpretation you have of what I've chanted. So just listen. Tat savitur vareniyam. Try that. Tat savitur vareniyam. Tat savitur vareniyam. Good. So the intention, the point of this piece of the Gayatri is to remind us what we are connecting with. So this light of the Gayatri, the symbol of all knowledge, of all understanding, of all compassion. So as you inhale, I will chant. And then as you exhale, you chant it. Right? So exhale everything out. Tat savitur vareniyam. You guys on exhale. Tat savitur vareniyam. Inhale. And then exhale all the way down. So just one chanting. Inhale. Tat savitur vareniyam. Exhale. Tat savitur vareniyam. Inhale. And exhale. Again, inhale. Tat savitur vareniyam. Exhale. Tat savitur vareniyam. Inhale. And all the way down. Again, inhale. Tat savitur vareniyam. Exhale. Tat savitur vareniyam. Inhale. Exhale. We'll do that 4 more times. Inhale. Tat savitur vareniyam. Exhale. Tat savitur vareniyam. Inhale. Down. 3 more times. Tat savitur vareniyam. Tat savitur vareniyam. Inhale. And exhale. Last 2. Tat savitur vareniyam. Tat savitur vareniyam. All the way down. Last one. Tat savitur vareniyam. Exhale. Tat savitur vareniyam. Inhale. Exhale. Pause a moment. Okay. And let's maybe just do a gentle counter pose. Come down either halfway or all the way down towards the floor. Let the back relax. Reminding you what we've chanted so far. Om Pur Bhuva Suvaha Tat Savitur Vareniyam. Come all the way back to standing as you're ready. And we'll add this other piece. So this is the story it's telling. So starting with myself, acknowledging something bigger. And now the third part. Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi. It's like saying, destroyer of ignorance, illuminate my heart, illuminate my mind and everything that I am. So it's not necessarily fixing you or changing you, but just shining the light on what's already there. So the movement we'll do is a very simple movement. So we'll inhale into the warrior-like posture, reaching up. Exhale, hands to the chest. And we bring the hands to the chest. We're going to chant. Okay? And then we'll open back up and then release the posture. So we'll just do the chanting, this request from the Gayatri. Bhargo devasya dhimahi. Okay? When we bring the hands in. So just listen first once. We'll recite it one time before we do the movement. So listen once and chant twice. Bhargo devasya dhimahi. Bhargo devasya dhimahi. Bhargo devasya dhimahi. So in my mind, it has three parts. Bhargo devasya dhimahi. You got it, Carla. I can see you mouthing it. Okay. So we'll do it a few times and then maybe after we do, because we have two sides to do here. So, okay. So the first movement, we'll do the movement just 2 times. So inhale, reach up as if you're reaching towards that light and the symbol of knowledge. Exhale, illuminate my heart. Inhale and return. Okay. We'll do that again. Inhale, exhale, illuminate my heart. Inhale, release. Okay. So exhale everything out. I'll chant on the first inhale and you repeat. Bhargo devasya dhimahi. Bhargo devasya dhimahi. Inhale, reach back. Exhale, release. Okay. Try that again. Bhargo devasya dhimahi. Bhargo devasya dhimahi. Inhale and release. We'll do 2 more times on this side. Inhale, Bhargo devasya dhimahi. Bhargo devasya dhimahi. Inhale. Release. Last time. Bhargo devasya dhimahi. Bhargo devasya dhimahi. Inhale, release. And come back. Pause here a moment. And just to bring some balance, the back side of the body, let's slide the hands down. Head towards the front knee, the front leg. If there's a little stiffness, you can rest the hand on the knees. Otherwise, hands to the floor, lengthening this front leg as much as you can. Let the head drop. And then after a few breaths, come back up. Release the posture, step the feet together and pause. So we'll do the second side again about 4 times. Same mantra. And just remember the movement. Inhale, illuminate my heart, release, and come back. Okay. So let's try again. So when you're ready, exhale everything out. Inhale, Bhargo devasya dhimahi. Bhargo devasya dhimahi. Inhale, reach. Exhale, release. Bhargo devasya dhimahi. Bhargo devasya dhimahi. Inhale. Release. 2 more times. Bhargo devasya dhimahi. Bhargo devasya dhimahi. Inhale. Release. Bhargo devasya dhimahi. Bhargo devasya dhimahi. So 1 more time on this side. Inhale. Bhargo devasya dhimahi. Bhargo devasya dhimahi. Release. And then let's move down the front leg. Head towards the leg. Let this front leg lengthen. And then release. Come to standing. Pause a moment. Come down to the knees. And rest for just a moment in a childlike posture or sitting on the heels if that feels good. So just remembering now 3 parts. We acknowledge all aspects of ourselves. Acknowledge this idea of the Gayatri and ask it to illuminate our hearts and minds. Om Purva Suvaha Tat Savitur Vareniyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi. And then we'll move on to hands and knees. Or actually, no, we'll do standing. We'll do standing on the knees. So for me, I need a little bit more padding. Carpet. So we'll do a little vinyasa here. So the movement is going to be inhale up, exhale down. Inhale, hands and knees. Exhale back. And then we'll sweep the arms out and come to standing. Okay. So there's going to be 2 parts. We're going to chant during 2 parts of this. So we'll try it again. Inhale, the arms will come up. We'll be chanting when we come down to touch the floor. We'll come up into the hands and knees on inhale. And we'll chant another part when we come all the way back. We'll move the hands to the low back and then stand all the way up. Okay, and release. Just do the movement one more time. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale, hands and knees. Exhale back. Hands to the low back, and then sweep the arms as you come standing. Good. So trusting you to adapt to your body as you need. So with the arms forward, that can be a bit tricky. So feel free to sweep the arms and then slide them forward once you're down. So we're gonna come to the 4th piece. So we've done 3 pieces. Om Purva Suvaha Tat Savitur Vareniyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi. And the last part, Tiyo Yona Prachodayat. So Diyo Yona is like, may we be inspired by, may we be united with and embody this brilliance and generosity of this light of the Gayatri. So now the transformation is complete. So we begin by asking, we begin by acknowledging what this Gayatri is, what this light is. We ask it to illuminate us. And then this 4th part, Piyo Yona, may I be that. And then the last piece, Prachodayat, that just means, it's like when we say Om Shanti, 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 kind of brings it to a close. So we'll practice that just a couple of times here. So listen to the first part. Tiyo Yona. So try that twice. Tiyo Yona. Tiyo Yona. So there's 2 yo-yos, that's easy. Tiyo Yona. Then the second part, prachodayat. Try that twice. Prachodayat. Prachodayat. So when we come down the first time, that will be dio yo na. Inhale up, exhale back. Prachodayat. And we do this with intention here, because this movement is really the movement of surrender, release. So this is where we do our prachodayat, the release of it all. Okay? So we'll give that a try. We'll do maybe about 8 times. Pause if you need to, or you can recite silently if Sarah's smiling at you, or if you're tired, then you can just do it in your mind. Otherwise, do it with me. So exhale everything out, and I'll chant while you inhale. Tiyo yo na, tiyo yo na, prachodayat, prachodayat. Hands to the low back. Inhale, sweep the arms and stand. Exhale, stay standing, release the arms. Inhale, tiyo yo na, tiyo yo na, prachodayat, prachodayat. Hands to the low back. Inhale up. Exhale, release. Again, inhale up. Tiyo yo na, tiyo yo na, prachodayat, prachodayat. Hands to the low back. Release. Again. Tiyo yo na, tiyo yo na, prachodayat, prachodayat. Hands to the low back. Sweep. Release. 4 more times like that. Tiyo yo na, tiyo yo na, prachodayat, prachodayat. Sweep the arms to the back, all the way up. Release. 3 more times. Tiyo yo na, tiyo yo na, prachodayat, prachodayat. Inhale up. Release. 2 more times. Tiyo yo na, tiyo yo na, prachodayat, prachodayat. Sweep the hands to the back, up. Release. Last one. Tiyo yo na, tiyo yo na, prachodayat, prachodayat. Sweep the hands to the back, all the way up to standing. Release the arms. Pause. Let's move on to the lying on the back. And just pause for a moment. Feel the body. And maybe return to this feeling like we did last week, where we had the back up against the wall, but now on the floor. So really feel like your sacrum is touching the floor. Feel the low back come into contact with the floor. Shoulder blades are like plates under your back. So you may need to sort of lift the chest and flatten the shoulder blades. Sometimes it helps with the arms out wide a little bit. So really feel the back flatten just for a moment. And then release a little bit to have a more natural feel of the curves of the back. But try to keep, if you can, that feeling of the shoulder blades against the floor as we pause for a moment. And coming back to these 4 pieces of the Gayatri mantra. Om Pur Bhuva Suvaha Tat Savitur Varidiyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat. So some of these chants are a little bit like magic spells from the ancestors. So speaking words into reality. All that I am and the light that pervades the universe, may you illuminate my body, mind, heart. And may I embody the brilliance and generosity of that light. So just breaking up the 4 parts of that formula and breathing them into our body. Wonderful summertime practice, wonderful practice in the peak of sunlight, the summer solstice. So many people I see advertising 108 sun salutations today, which is another way to do it, different way to embody. There's different mantras around the sun. So this is one practice that is the sun salutation, but not necessarily jumping back into a push-up and downward facing dog version of sun salutations without a downward facing dog. Okay. So feel the back, and let's just begin by a little apanasana. So take the hands to the knees and gently bring the knees towards you. Inhale, moving away. Exhale, knees towards you. You can do one knee at a time or both knees together. Moving with the breath. And then bring the hands down eventually. We'll do a little bit of Dvipadapitam, so the little bridge. Finding your spine, it should come up and back down. Bring the arms in whichever position feels right for you. So adapt to what you feel you need. If there's some tightness in the shoulder, maybe sweeping the arms or lifting them up. Otherwise, keep the arms. I sometimes like to keep them out. It helps me sort of keep the shoulder blades connected with the floor, opening a little bit space in front of the shoulders for me. So just feel free to do whatever variations you like. I'll offer sort of the one-legged variation we've done, where you take the sole of the foot on the opposite knee and lifting with the strength of one leg and coming back down, vertebra by vertebra, nice and slowly. We'll do just about 4 times on each side. When you've done both sides, come down, good. Yeah, let the knees twist a little side to side. Or if you like, you can come all the way down. And then just saying a little bit of a hello to the hips here. We'll cross the leg over like a number 4. Maybe holding on behind the quads, behind the knee. Carla, if you had your foot strap that I gave you last week, this would be the kind of movement on the leg that's bent. You could straighten it out and hold with your strap, supporting that leg. And of course, feeling here, and particularly this hip. But that's one way you can do this variation. And then whether this leg is straight or bent, you can take this foot that's crossed over, the forefoot, we'll call it, the forefoot, and move it towards the floor to the side of you. So you're like doing a twist, but a little more hippie. This is a hippie twist. Not the people hippie, but the hip joint hippie. Maybe the sacrum too. Oh, my sacrum is talking a little bit right now. So stay there, making sure your knee doesn't feel threatened here. So there's no stress on the knee. So if it's so, just bring the whole configuration lower away from your chest. So moving down towards your feet area. Otherwise, you can keep this knee bent, keep the foot about hip position. And then release when you feel ready. Come back to the center. Sort of check in with the hips and sacrum here. And then we'll cross the other leg over. If you can, hold on behind the leg or the knee. Or if you have an awesome towel or foot strap, you can straighten that leg and hold on here. So just stay here for a few breaths, feeling that hip of the leg that's bent. And when you feel ready to do that hippie twist, slowly move your body over, be gentle and be loving with that knee and that hip. So the closer that foot is to your armpit on the twist, the more intense this hip work is going to be. So just move the foot away from the armpit as you twist. If you feel too torque on the knee, or if you feel too much in the hip, or if you try to keep it too high, you might only be able to twist a little way. So lowering it down and moving this way could be a little gentler for the body. And then whenever you're ready, just release. And then from here, either one leg or both legs, we'll do the extended leg position. So I'm going to take both feet off the floor, knees towards me. Inhale, extend the hands over towards the floor. Reach the feet up, flex the feet, and then release. And again, if you have the foot strap, Carla, and you're practicing at home, you can leave it here and pull and release. A way to help gently remind the calf muscles that they can let go. And also helping the feet lengthen, help the plantar fascia release. And then eventually you can stay in this position with the feet up. one variation of this, I don't think I've taught it yet in the group classes. With the feet up, you can sort of feel like the sacrum is like a clock, and just moving the feet around in a little circle. So you feel the edges of the sacrum come into contact with the floor. Like a little bit of a sacral massage. You can just go back and forth, or you can go all the way around. The whole time, the hip flexors, the abdominal muscles helping to hold the legs up. And then when you're ready, release. Stretch the legs out for just a moment. Do a little counter pose for that. And the counter pose we'll do, we're going to roll onto one side and hold on to that foot behind us. So like a typical sort of runner stretch. So keep the knee down. Yep, just like that, Angela, perfect. And just let the knee move a little bit back. So don't let the knee go up too high. Keep it low, parallel with the hip, and just gently guide the foot back. And then when you're ready, release. Maybe bring that knee a little forward so if there's any tightness in the back from that stretch. And then we'll just roll over onto the other side. I'll turn myself all the way around here. Lying on the other side, foot behind you. So feel this front side iliopsoas lengthening. And then when you're complete, bring the knee towards you. And just two more gentle pelvis-related postures. Keep the knees together, the feet together, the ankles together. One hip is above the other hip. And as you inhale, just open the knees, keep the hip where it is, don't let it roll back, and then slowly bring it down. So just this little clamshell a few times. Make sure your head and neck feel comfortable. And we just want to do enough reps here that we start to feel these abductors, these muscles that help us move the knees apart. Start to feel them warm up a little bit. So just keep going. So one of the ways that we can keep the mind quiet and still when we're doing a position that's not very physically challenging, but requires a little bit of attention, is we can come back to this mantra. So I'll sing it again just so you can hear it again and start to embody more and more the sounds. And feel free to join as much as you can. Om Bhurбhuva Suvah Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat. You can pause for a moment, let that rest. And let's do one more little series, just a few more times, opening and closing when you feel like you've rested a little bit. And we'll do one more recitation of the Gayatri mantra. Om Bhurбhuva Suvah Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat. and let it rest. And then roll back onto the first side. Same thing, so line up the feet, the hip, the knees sticking forward. And just doing this clamshell a few times. Again, keep the hips from rolling back. Almost got attacked by a dog there. He thought twice though. And then just coming back to this Gayatri mantra. Om Purva Suvaha Tatsavitur Varenyam Argo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat. Pause for a moment, let the muscles rest here. Little massage. And then one more round of Gayatri. Om Purva Suvaha Tatsavitur Varenyam Argo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat. Release, rest. Come onto the back. So this recitation over and over again, using the same melody, it becomes like an earworm. And then we'll just activate here the adductors, the inner thigh muscles. So feet together, knees together. Inhale, open the knees wide. Exhale, slowly, slowly, slowly. And the reason I don't play, there's many recordings of the Gayatri, is that they all have many recordings that are sung by popular mantra performers, use a different tone. And so this version that I learned is something similar to what is taught in classical Vedic teachings. And the melody is different. So in order to avoid confusion, the earworm I want you to have is this melody for now. And one way we can practice these simple postures in the mind or verbally when you exhale. Om Purva Suvaha Tatsavitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat. If you really want to work your exhale, you can do that all in one exhale. Or you can do each part. Om Purva Suvaha. Inhale. Tatsavitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat. And then for a moment, stay with the knees apart. Just let gravity support the position. And then when you feel ready, just stretch the legs out. And if your body's ready to let go into resting, let the shoulder blades come under like two plates. Let the arms come to a comfortable position. Adjust the feet, the legs. And let your body just rest here for a few moments, few minutes. As you rest, just listen to the longer version of this mantra. You'll recognize bits of it from what we've done already. Om Bhuh Om Bhuvaha Om Suvaha Om Mahaha Om Janaha Om Tapaha Om Satyam Om Tatsavitur Vareniyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayata Om Apo Jyotira Samritam Brahma Purva Suvar Om. So resting in the light of Gayatri, And as you feel ready, slowly make your way back to sitting. So try to keep this quiet space a little bit longer. And I think how I'd like to end is just, we'll just do 12 recitations of the Gayatri mantra. So I'll guide it and I'll keep count myself. So one of the reasons that I use this mantra in my own practice is I found that doing mantra japa, so mantra japa means repetition of mantra, of this particular mantra has an energizing effect on me. So usually coming in the Fastenzeit, in the time of Lent, is a time when I do this over and over again. So it's one of the rituals that I do. And for me is a great way to move from winter into springtime, and that it sort of clears my head. I often do it on a walk. You know, I take the dog and I go for a walk and I'm have my mala and I'm reciting it, you know, counting on the mala. So we'll do 12 rounds and just notice the effects on you. We'll count, this effect will be different depending on how quickly, how loudly, and everything else, but we'll just recite it and start to put the earworm in there and then see how we play from there. So let your breath flow as best you can, as what works with the mantra. So I won't guide you how to breathe. We'll just be breathing as we recite. Om Bhurбhuva Suvah Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat. Om Bhurбhuva Suvah Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat. Om Bhurбhuva Suvah Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat. Om Bhurбhuva Suvah Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat. Om Bhurбhuva Suvah Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat. Om Bhurбhuva Suvah Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat. Om Bhurбhuva Suvah Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat. Om Bhurбhuva Suvah Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat. Om Bhurбhuva Suvah Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat. Om Bhurбhuva Suvah Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat. Om Bhurбhuva Suvah Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat. Om Bhurбhuva Suvah Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat. So just sit for a moment in the quiet. And just recognize your place in the learning process. So this is a new mantra. It's a little bit like being at a rock concert and only knowing parts of the songs that you want to yell out and sing with the crowd. So just let the melody float over you until you learn all the right sounds. Recognizing the expansion of this mantra among others, but many places today around the world, this mantra is being recited. And we'll bring things to a close. Lokaha samastaha sukhino bhavantu. May a million voices singing out Gayatri mantra be a gift of peace to all beings everywhere. Thank you.